walking the property out, trying to figure out the lay of the land and where everything's going to go, the slope for the septic. I went down to the county this morning and talked to them about temporary permits for the Connex boxes. It's going to take, I think they said 2 to 3 days to go through the different departments to get signed off, but they don't think there's going to be a problem with it. And those will go right up there. You can see that small stack of logs through all those trees. That's where those are going to go. Still need to level off that part. I talked to the health department about the septic, got some more information on how to build the septic, how far apart different components of the septic system need to be, and the slope of the pipes. I think that's all I talked to them about. It's pretty much all there is to a septic system. I've also got the smaller pieces of the pine trees, the tops, kind of marked out as to where the house is going to sit, so I can get a better idea of where the septic box is going to go and how far out the leach field has to, or the pipe to the distribution box, and then the leach field after that. And it looks like I've got it positioned fairly well right now. I was running into a complication where the septic box was level with where the leach field needed to be, and that doesn't work. It's got to go downhill. I think it needs to slope 7 inches every 50 feet, something like that. So if you can see, I've got the tripod mounted level and the GoPro's level on top of it. So I'll do a little 360 view of the land and how it's laid out in all, north, south, east, and west. And you get a better perspective on where we're sitting and how it looks. So we'll start with well, that's east, so we'll start due east. That's about as straight east as you can go. That's pretty much straight north. Straight west. Straight south. And back to north, or east. So we'll take you down. That's one corner of the house. The other corner. Another corner mark there, and down here. We've got a lot of stumps to remove. A lot of bigger stumps to remove. Huge trees that were dead. A lot of them were dead. A lot of them had beetle kill at the top or a ton of mistletoe in them. This seems to be a pretty big problem on my property right now, is either beetles getting into the top of them and killing the tops, or the mistletoe coming from the bottom and working its way up as the tree grows. Kind of sad, because I want to say that the majority of the trees out here are already infected by one or the other, whether it's beetles or mistletoe. And I really like the pine trees. I don't want to see them all die, but we're going to have to do something to figure out how to thin the trees, keep all the good healthy trees, and thin them so that the healthy trees stay healthy and the beetles don't get a chance to bore into them. The oak trees don't have a problem, other than the fact that they rot out from the inside, so as they grow they kind of die from the inside out. It's a natural way of the oak tree. this oak tree over here. That oak tree right there is probably, as far as a forestry guy could guess, it's probably about 200 years old. It's got a nice top to it. He said if I could try and keep that one, thin out some of the trees around it, the smaller trees around it, to get that one more water, more light, keep it healthy. Even though it's not a pine tree, he said it's one of the healthier trees, so you want to keep it. The Doug fir that I have on my property, there's 3 big Doug fir. Doug fir in this area doesn't seem to have a problem. It doesn't get mistletoe. The mistletoe in this area sticks to the pine trees, and the beetles stick to the pine trees. And there's a lot of little saplings on the ground, anywhere from 6-8 inches tall to 12-13 feet tall, little sapling Doug firs. And that's kind of my plan, is next spring, hopefully I have a backhoe and I can get it over there to dig some of those up, dig it really deep around it, and pick up a lot of the dirt and everything and transplant it into a hole somewhere in the shade of some of these other trees, so it'll grow over here. And then we can kind of spread the Doug fir around without having to start from seedlings I'd buy somewhere and hopefully they'd live. There's no guarantee a transplant will live either, but I'm kind of hoping they will. So it was another day of work done. I feel like things have gone a long ways in one day, mainly because we got a lot of stumps pulled out. We got a lot of ground kind of cleared of debris and everything. When we cleared the stumps out, we had to dig them out, so ended up using the bucket to scrape some dirt around, and that kind of cleaned it up. And it makes you see the big open area that's clean. Kind of gives you a sense of accomplishment, where before cutting trees down, the mess is still there and it just seems like it just never went away. So you can see up the driveway over there, it's looking a little cleaner. Come down here and all this, got all the stumps out of this whole area right here. Then you can still see there's still, I think there's 10 stumps left over there, and then there's one way over there, a couple over here. So there's still a lot of work needs to be done as far as pulling stumps. It's not exactly done, but it makes the place look like work's been done. It's a nice feeling. And I'm tired. I've only been up here working for 4 days this time. I'm dirty, need a shower, and I'm tired. Started working on an area over here. I don't know if you can see it through the trees. That area over there, where it's all, you see a bunch of stuff laying on the ground. The trees are kind of limbed up, all the dead limbs off the trees. That area, I cut down trees down at ground level so that I can run a chain link fence and have a penned-in area for my dogs. So when we get up here, if we have to go someplace, we have to go as a family in town, whatever the case may be, we can put the dogs in a penned-in area. We don't have to worry about them getting out. So that's what that area over there, it's going to be roughly 40 by 60 area. It's going to have trees in it. So we'll get the campers moved around after we get some more of these stumps pulled. Get the other trailer down here. The place where the Connex boxes are going. Up in that area, we got the stumps pulled up there. Take you for a little walk up there. Let you see it. So, walking up to where the Connex boxes are, we've got This stump over here got pulled up, and there was a set of 4 stumps over there, just past that oak tree. They got pulled up. And Richard's gonna come back, my neighbor. He's gonna come back tomorrow. He can only spend about 2 or 3 hours today. I'm really grateful for that because I don't have a backhoe. So him bringing his backhoe over here and charging me basically for fuel, it's a godsend really, because there's no way I could have pulled some of these stumps out. I'll show you some of the stumps he pulled out. They're massive. But over here, we're gonna have 2 Connex boxes, and all he's got to do out here now is level the areas where the Connex boxes are gonna sit. There's a pretty good dip up there. You can see it. It's just got to get leveled out because the Connex box is probably gonna come from right here when I'm standing all the way back to that little oak tree. I hope I'm pointing the camera in the right direction, because I'm just kind of guessing at this point. As far as being able to get the Connex boxes in here, I think the trucking company will be able to pull straight down the driveway right up into that area and then back right past all this over into there. Shouldn't be a big deal. Truth will be told when they get here as to how good the driver is. I'm pretty sure I could back a 30-foot trailer into that spot. And I'm not a professional driver, so I would expect a professional driver could take a 40-foot trailer and back it in there if I could do a 30-foot. Walking down here. Now the stumps that we dug out of this area up in here, they were some big trees. Almost, well, this one's smaller than 2 of them that he dug out already. And that's a pretty good sized stump. Going down here, he pushed them, Richard pushed them with his tractor all the way down into this green area, so that when we go to burn this next winter, when the burn ban is lifted, we can just burn them right down here in this green area, right next to these fallen trees. Throw the fallen trees on top of it. Get it going. These are some pretty massive stumps. I mean, you're talking, there's a pile of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 of them. The tips of those roots are 5.5 feet to the very tops of these little pieces. So there's no way I could have moved them without a backhoe. It's not going to happen. So big thanks to Richard again. Best neighbor anybody could ask for, really. Super nice guy. I think he's semi-retired, so seems like retired folk have less time on their hands than those that work. As odd as that seems, you'd think they'd have all the time in the world, but they never do. And there's more stumps. There's Gibby. What's the matter, puppy? Oh, you're a good dog. Yeah. My little mascot for the week. More stumps right there. 3 or 4 more. A couple more up there. We just kind of position the stumps wherever to start with. The bigger ones we put more thought process into, because I'm not going to be able to move them later. Some of the smaller ones, like the ones up behind me here, I can roll those. I can move them with my truck if I have to. I could have moved a couple of those with my truck, but I couldn't have pulled them down there. So, other than that, quick little overview of what the place looks like. I don't know how fast or slow I should turn around. It'll look really nice next spring when we get all this stuff burnt. And get some more of these trees limbed out so you can see further through them. So I'm thinking on taking off day after tomorrow. One more day of good hard work and then a nice 9.5 hour drive home. Ought to do me for the week. But until next time I come up here, still got one more day. Don't forget, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Help this channel get out there and get seen. Help people see this channel from the start so that they don't miss that first part of it. See where it all started. Take it easy, guys.